everyone, welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. Today we are building for the Matschie's tree Kangaroo. And I know I didn't pronounce that name right, probably. But yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, I've been looking forward to building this. It's so cute, and if you want to learn more about it or simply just see how I built this habitat, then please keep watching. And for everyone that's new here, I do enjoy my mods very much. I use, as I also have done in this zoo, a lot of prop mods, and I try to vary a lot between frontier official animals from the games and DLCs, and in the modded animals. I think there's a lot of things you can do with mods that you can't do, and one is the fact that I really like going into these different animals and learning about them. And at this point I made video, I think, for every single animal that did come out with the from frontier side of it. Not sure if I had made videos on all of them, but also some of them I have made maybe 5 videos on building for them at this point. And I want to learn more about animals that I don't know. This is not only to teach you guys about these animals, I want to learn about them also. So I really like to make this combination. Every time I use a mod here, I have the link below, as I always do on my speed builds, for the information I got, sometimes from Animalia, that's the site I use today. Sometimes I also use other sites, so that's linked below. But because it's a mod, I also have a link to Nexus where you can go and download the mod if you want to use it yourself. And I also have a link for my video. I make videos on mods also on this channel, if you don't know. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Sorry. But I make those videos also, so you won't see a lot of it here, like up close and fur texture, and is this really a good mod and all of that. I make that in a dedicated video to looking at the mod, and not necessarily the quality, but just show you the work these modders do, because they do amazing work. 99% of the time there's something that goes wrong once in a while, but again, these modders work for free, volunteer. You can donate for them in different ways, but overall you do not pay for these mods. They are very much free. I also think, I don't know actually if I remember to put a link below to a video to how to install mods, but I at least have a link for that on the mod video for this beautiful animal. Anyway, that was really long, but when it's some time since we've been working with modded animals, I just wanted to go over all of this. Also because I had like, I think 10 subscribers last week or so, which is a lot for me. Again, keep it going, guys. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at all. I'm loving it. Again, my goal was if I could find like 10 people who wanted to hear what I had to say and see my videos, and we are collecting a little group here, and I'm in love with it. Anyway, I will just of course thank the modders who made the Matschie's tree Kangaroo, and that is Leaf and NicholasLionRider. They do both have their own YouTube channel, but I will say Leaf use his a few times a week, and NicholasLionRider put something up like maybe once a month. Again, both dedicated to mods, but Leaf also do make speed builds, so if you want to see some of that, that's on their channel. I will try to remember to link it below, but I can't promise you that part. I also just mentioned, if you want to be a part of the modding community for Planet Zoo, there is a what's it called, Discord thing for it. It's under this Open Ninja modding community on Discord, and then they have multiple chats in here. There's Planet Zoo General, Planet Zoo Modding General, Modding Help, Resources, Translations, Showcasing. all of the good stuff. I do not understand everything they write in there, but they are generally very nice to answer questions. So yeah, if you want to be a part of that, it's right there for the thing. I did get a little confused when I started building this because these guys don't need a lot of space. They don't. I think a group with 4 adults and I think 4 babies would need around 500 square meters, which isn't a lot. However, as you saw, I did still make it too small. So I didn't want to make it so deep so they would all see it in the back, especially because they're not too big animals and they are also climbing in trees, so they would already maybe be a little hard to find. So I wanted to keep them up here up front. So I did that by making this a little wider and then not making it too deep. And then I use these vines between the trees. They are so good to making the animals visible. A lot of the trees in the game have these beautiful, just beautiful look about them, with these beautiful branches with a lot of leaves on them, which we like. But it makes the animal harder to see. But every time here they move from tree to tree, it simply just makes it easier to see them. And sometimes they just sit on them and take a break and such. And honestly, now I also have the Planet Zoo Plus mod, which help with this. So climbing animal tends to stay longer climbing. So therefore, they will pretty much just go down when they need to poop, drink, or give birth. That's pretty much it. So yeah, therefore I just needed this, and I needed this to be as close to the guest as possible. And that's pretty much all of the factors I made about this specific part. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this kangaroo. And again, I say this kangaroo, this tree kangaroo, because Matschie, I'm probably not pronouncing it right, and if I do, it's really hard for me to pronounce. So yeah, I will try to clarify if I mention any other kangaroos or tree kangaroos. Even though this is a tree kangaroo, which give it the genus Dendrolagus, it is still a kangaroo, so therefore, even though they have their own genus, they are still in family with the normal kangaroos. For instance, our red kangaroo that we have here in Planet Zoo, and the wallabies. Their family is called Macropodidae, and the order they are is also lumped in with, for instance, our beautiful koalas and wombats. It's called Diprotodontia, and the infraclass is the step between Mammalia, which is the class, and the order. Not all animals have an infraclass, but these have, and it is the Marsupialidae, which is the infraclass of marsupials, these pouch animals that basically give birth to unbaked babies. Like, babies come out as a little blob of batter, and then it needs to sit in the pouch and develop and actually be done being baked, if you can imagine that, and turning into an actual baby at that point, which gives them the option to, when they are able to come out, actually go around and be very self-sustaining. That wasn't the right word, but I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. Self-sufficient, of course. And can eat and do all of these things, but still have this really nice bond to their mom, so they can jump a little bit back in when they need to be very, very close to their mom. Which I'm not saying that I want to jump into my mom's belly, but it is definitely nice once in a while to be really close with your mom, no matter how old you get. Well, that's how I feel, anyway. For the tree kangaroo, the pouch is placed much more like they are on a normal kangaroo or wallaby, facing up towards the chest and a face of the kangaroo, where some other, for instance the wombat, have a pouch turning backwards in between the legs. These seems to have it turning upwards, which is nice when you climb up a tree, for instance, that the pouch is nice and the opening is upwards. But of course they do also, as you can see here, walk on all four, where they tend to peek a little more out. And while we are at it, why don't I try to pronounce some more things that are difficult to pronounce? This Matschie tree kangaroo is also called a Huon tree kangaroo, which is again just a different name for the same tree kangaroo. Overall, they look a little more like a bear in the face, but when you look at the stature when they stand on their hind legs and this thick, girthy tail, I'm not sure that's the right word, but it's the one I've used, it is easier to see the kangaroo. They also kind of have a stature a little bit like a red panda, but bigger. They have a top speed of 21 kilometers per hour, which isn't that fast, but again, they are climbers. They are not runners like, for instance, lemurs. They do run more over branches than actually climb. They weigh between 7 and 11 kilo, which is a fairly big cat, like house cat size. I think it's around 15 to 23 pounds, and they have a length of 0.5 meter to 80 centimeters. Again, being around like 2.5-3 feet, I think, around that. I don't think it's weird for everyone that this tree kangaroo is a kangaroo and therefore live in Oceania, Australia. However, they do not live all over Australia. They live on Papua New Guinea, which is a part, as far as I can see, on mainland Australia, but a really small part compared to some of the maps we have seen from other Australian animals. Maybe why Frontier didn't think of it. It lives in the tropical climate zones, both in forest and rainforest biomes, but that's pretty much it. Again, they are tree kangaroos, so they will probably always prefer to live somewhere with trees. Even though you can have a nice little group of them here in your game, I will just mention that in the wild, these are highly solitary creatures. They will never share a tree or anything like that. And both males and females will have their own territory. However, the male territory will normally be larger and cover quite a few females, 2, 3, something like that. And that is why they have the option to mate with multiple females, where it's harder for the females to mate with multiple males, when there normally only will be one male territory overlapping hers. These beautiful kangaroos can be awake both through the night or through the day. It's highly depending on what their need are, what's... basically, if there's something on the ground making them unable to go to the ground, they will simply not do it at a time where that reason is there, which for instance could be humans or a carnivore or something that they just don't want to mess with. They are clearly built for trees, and therefore they are quite both slow and clumsy on the ground, but they are much more nimble and agile in the trees and can climb up to 21 kilometers per hour. I think I mentioned that earlier, which is a nice speed. It's not the fastest, but it's okay. When we talk of the little more sad part with a lot of animal, one thing that we talk about a lot is deforestation. And it's not weird when you have an animal like this that basically do not function properly on the ground, then it probably will prefer to have its home. But since deforestation also is a thing in this area, it is one of their greatest threats. However, in these areas, we also run into both mining and oil operations, which both do disturb the ground simply by like trucks running through the forest. We need to build road for that and such, but also by polluting the air and the ground around it. Furthermore, because this isn't bad enough, the native people or aboriginal, people of Papua New Guinea do hunt these because apparently they taste good. And again, I'm not sure if this is a starving people, if they eat them because they want, or if they eat them because they don't have anything else to eat. I'm not aware of that, so I won't speak on that. However, this have left these beautiful tree kangaroos as a endangered species according to the IUCN Red List. But this could be changed if we got a specific number of these beautiful kangaroos, because at this point we do not have a concrete number of them, which I find very sad. But they are estimated to be at the most 2,500 living adult individuals in the wild, which simply isn't that many. But this is at the most, which means there can also be a much smaller number. And I think that we need to figure this out because they could be critical endangered. And if you even know how many they're there, would you actually notice if all of them died? These are all questions that I would like the answers to, but I'm pretty sure that I won't get any. Anyway, guys, enjoy the cinematics and I will come back afterwards. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you today, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, even though it's not a official animal from the game. And I really like building this. It's a little bit different, and it's very climbing based, of course. As always, guys, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video. I really hope to see you again, either in the comments below or in the next video. Bye, guys!